These two were bitter enemies who hated each other, but when the school forces them into a fake marriage, they decide to be fake lovers, but end up falling in love and smashing instead. Jiro was a virgin, high school gamer kid everyone knew. One day, a group of girls walked past him and Akari, one of the more popular ones, didn't hesitate to shove him aside like some NPC. Jiro hated how she acted. She treated him like dirt. Later in class, his longtime crush Shiori lit up with excitement. The teacher had just announced a new marriage practical assignment. Basically, students would be randomly paired up to act like married couples. Jiro thought this might not be so bad. Fate slapped him in the face by pairing him with Akari. He tried to keep it polite, but she was not listening. She had an extreme crush on Tenjin, but when it came to Jiro, she didn't care. Eventually, Jiro got fed up and told her he hated the pairing just as much. He admitted he had someone else in mind. Akari immediately guessed it was Shiori and called him an open book, which led to the two of them arguing until their relationship meter actually dropped to negative. That's when Akari finally screamed at him to start getting along. She explained that couples who made it to A rank could switch partners after a month. Jiro had no clue about this escape clause, but now it all made sense. If they could fake being the perfect couple, they could eventually move on to be with their real crushes. But pretending to be in love with someone like her, that sounded dangerous. Akari leaned in, whispering in his ear that she'd be the perfect wife. She told him she was counting on him. That line made their rank tick up a bit, but Jiro, being the classic anime protagonist he was, just walked away instead of dealing with his emotions. Alone, Akari sat quietly, a bit sad. The truth was, she didn't want any other girl taking Tenjin away. She had never done anything like this before, and she wanted to try her best. Meanwhile, Jiro went to get a drink, and of course, saw Shiori happily partnered up with Tenjin. The two looked thrilled. That crushed him. He went home, turned into emotional stone, and just sat there sulking. Akari found him and immediately roasted him. She called him a buzzkill, telling him that if he planned to sit around moping like some broken NPC, he didn't stand a chance against Tenjin. Jiro admitted that he felt genuinely sad, and surprisingly, Akari dropped the attitude. She softened her voice and told him she actually wanted to be a good wife for the sake of the mission. If they took this seriously, they could get practice for the real thing and both walk away happy. She held his face and told him that being a depressed, mopey loser wouldn't get him anywhere. It wasn't attractive, it wasn't useful, and it sure as hell wouldn't impress Shiori. Right then, Jiro's friend rang the doorbell. He was ready to bounce, but Akari stopped him. She said they shouldn't leave things hanging while their score was still negative. She leaned in and said, "At least give me a goodbye kiss." Jiro, confused as hell, thought she meant the fish. She clarified, annoyed, until he finally realized what she meant. His friend was still banging on the door like a lunatic. Akari laughed and threw in one last jab, calling both him and his friend hopeless dot. But then Jiro surprised her. He held her face, leaned in, and kissed her for real. On the lips, full-on kiss. Blushing hard, he walked out, leaving her stunned. Akari stood frozen because honestly, she hadn't actually expected him to do it, and she definitely didn't mean on the lips. If you Plot Legends loved the show, please subscribe and leave a like so I can continue till next time.